Make of thyselves that which ye desire, be it a lord, be it a god. But should ye fail to become aught at all, ye will be forsaken, amounting only to sacrifices.
Alright, first things first, and I don't really think it's a mystery why, but it's got to be Elden Ring. The ultimate version of a Dark Souls game, on top of the ultimate From Software, and at the same time open world game. If you like Dark Souls, this is hands down the most engaging and challenging game of 2022. We get to spend at least 60 to 70 hours of gameplay to just finish it. This might just be that masterpiece that you've actually been waiting for.
I pray that the guidance of grace abandons you.
Why accept the burden of their grace, or be fooled by the dogmatic ramblings of the fingers? Rise with us, against the Erd tree.
Never met someone with a taste for barnacle and trust. We'd make good mates, I reckon.
I bid thee travel the path of the Lord, and once all is done, we shall see each other once more.
People are suffering. Soon, they'll starve. And the machines meant to help us are out of control.
Alright guys, here's a question that might actually come to you. What do you want from a game, really? Is it a good story, graphics, great music, really fun gameplay? Well, if the answer is yes, you can actually find all of these factors in Horizon Forbidden West. This game is an absolute blast, and without a doubt the best candidate to show you your PlayStation 5's real power. And if you're actually a fan of the series as well, I have to say, Forbidden West is actually everything you could have hoped for in a sequel, and even more.
The rebel leader, Regala, seeks to slaughter all those who've wronged her. She will kill anyone who gets in her way. They say she answers to a higher power. He supplied her with troops, weapons, even the ability to control machines. Machines of war.
Whatever secrets he has, he's keeping to himself. And the solution I need is broken and scattered. Everywhere I look, things are falling apart. I don't know if I can find a way forward. Like Elizabeth did.
And a massive skeleton army! Catapults are assaulting the city! The sky is filled with arrows! And boulders! And bones!
Guys, if you're a fan of the old tabletop RPG, well, Tiny Tina's Wonderland is an ode over here that will let you go at it in a first-person perspective. It is, without a doubt, very much another Borderlands game, so if you do love Borderlands, you will love this game. That is as simple as it can actually get. It's a very pleasant experience and will take you about 40 to 50 hours of gameplay to beat. Check it out.
In the end, you're still that same child I knew. helpless. Like the night I killed your father. You want revenge?
Coming up next, it is Sifu, if not the most, but one of the most standout fighting games of 2022 in terms of creativity and gameplay. Well, not to mention graphics. Sifu comes with an impeccable combat system and some real challenge. Actually, one of the most impressive beat-em-ups you'll ever get to play. Here's a question: do you like Kung Fu? If the answer is yes, you will love Sifu. Check it out. This game will take you about 10 to 15 hours to actually finish, in case you're wondering. If you like dungeon crawlers, or basically games like Diablo, and free-to-play games, Lost Ark is right now probably the best bet you're gonna get out of 2022, except if Diablo 4 releases by the end of this year. Otherwise, I'd have to say this game is probably one of the most addictive action RPGs you can actually pick up and play now for free with or without friends, and have with hundreds of hours of fun. Could it be better? Well, hell yes. Is this game enjoyable, however? Actually, hell yes as well.
Don't screw up the password again. This time, we'll blow your head off.
Sweet! Love you too.
You better get it right. Now listen, Steve, don't try to warn anyone I'm here.
Alright, talk about open world games. Dying Light 2, if we're being fair, did actually deliver in terms of gameplay. The premise of a bigger and bolder successor and the overall more complicated campaign. It's a good game, not a great game, I'd have to say. The story is a bit boring, but I think you could actually really see where all that 7 years of development went into. So here's what I would say: if you like open world games with zombies in them and a lot of parkour, well, don't hesitate to give this one a shot as well. Honestly, if graphics are a big deal for you, well, The King of Fighter 15 is just, well, okay. And it's actually one of the biggest buts of 2022. This game's gameplay and rollback netcode has got to be better than every single fighting game in the market right now. It is without a doubt the best King of Fighter game ever, or well, since 12 years ago. It is extremely fun and flashy, and the music is also excellent. Go for it.
Energy for walking and running until it's nap time. Has an inflatable, extendable, puffable body. Do bodies normally inflate like that?
Alright, I have to say, as someone who never played a Kirby game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is honestly one of the most fantastic Nintendo Switch exclusive platformers that you will ever get to play. Now, it is a hard game indeed, but a magical game in a lot of ways. Definitely a new direction for the series as well, and one of the best games of 2022 so far. This is not an open world Kirby game either, in case you didn't know, but a damn fine experience. For sure.
And by eat a car, I mean covered entirely with his elastic self and use it as a means of transportation. There's that energy from before. He can walk and run and drive rusted two-door sedans. So, to conclude, what is Kirby? Well, I still have no idea. I might be a brainiac, but Kirby's got plenty of surprises that not even science can explain.
On the other hand, it's Ghostwire Tokyo, a game that brings together open-world action RPGs and horror games together, and one that actually works. It's got to be one of the best games of 2022 as well. It could be boring to some extent in terms of story, and yes, it's not a game for everybody. However, you might want to take into account that this game was made by the same guy who came up with the original Resident Evil and the Evil Within games. It is a big deal.
Future is before us. A bright future.
Today, we fight not for glory or pride, but for survival, for the future.
Guys, if you are a fan of HD 2D style pixel art games, well, Triangle Strategy, a game made by the same folks who previously came out with Octopath Traveler, is, in terms of gameplay and visuals, in its own era, one of the top 3 standout Nintendo Switch exclusives of 2022. The graphics of which, in case you're wondering, is, well, intentional and basically to give you a certain amount of nostalgia and at the same time a lot of difficulty. If you're looking for an old-fashioned tactical RPG, Triangle Strategy is simply for you.
Powers be enough to make you see the light.
A battle to prove which of us is more fit to rule Norzelia.
You speak of the Hierophant?
You will pay for your grievous sins, Serenoa Wolfort, with your life.
As long as I keep walking, there will always be hope.
This battle is but the first step on the path Lord Serenoa has laid before us. Let us take this first step together and rejoice.
Come what may, my steps shall never waver.
Savathun, the Witch Queen. She infiltrated the Vanguard, weakening us from within. Stealing our most sacred resource.
Well, Destiny 2's Witch Queen to this moment is the best addition to the game. If not, well, one of the best. The story campaign of which, so to speak, is uncomparable to previous expansions because of the varied gameplay and the new locations, and according to its veterans, it's actually Destiny at its best as well. It looks amazing. Personally, I haven't finished it yet, haven't got the time, but if you do, well, you definitely should.
Mind that must bend to see the truths hidden here.
The game is yours to play now.
It
It's just that you look very much like the person in the picture, Fräulein. Her name was Dana. Dana Rose.
To be perfectly fair, I believe Siberia, the world before over here, is, without hesitation, the best point-and-click adventure game of the past few years, let alone 2022. And yes, after the failure of its predecessor, Siberia 3, this might be the single most amazing puzzle game I have seen for years. It's got one of the best soundtracks of all time, the graphics on point, and the story itself, it's something to die for. Do make sure to check this one out if you're into point-and-click adventures.
Out of my way!
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
Whatever could happen between Dana and Leon, I needed to be included, one way or another.
There's something sinister about all this.
My mission was to guide you and the rest of the expedition here, not to get involved in your harebrained research.
I don't think you understand the gravity of the situation.
We'd better leave the mountain soon, or we won't survive. Promise me you'll be very careful.
She left for an unknown destination. What happened, Dana? There must be a link between my mom and Dana, too.
By the way, what is your name?
Walker. Kate Walker.
Up next, it's gotta be Tunic, which is what I would recommend if you played any Souls games in the past, or Elden Ring lately. Yeah, in terms of graphics and aesthetic, it's almost identical to a Zelda game and even better, but it'll be one of the hardest top-down action RPGs you'll ever get to play. Past those, there is a divine music to go with this game, a hefty amount of creativity, and like at least 30 to 50 hours of gameplay. In my book, it's actually an 8 out of 10. So we have Pokemon Legends Arceus, an open world game in the series filled with the Pokemon goodness, but at the same time borrowing from other games as well, such as, well, Zelda. Well, you could say the graphics kinda do let down a bit, but at the same time I'd have to say I actually do recommend this Pokemon game more than any other one. Why? Simply because this game offers a whole lot of fun to satisfy your itch for a long time to come.
Your goal is to research the Pokemon of this region. As a member of the Galaxy Expedition Team, an organization dedicated to studying this land, you will strive to complete the first Pokédex in the region. Research begins at a base camp from which you'll embark on excursions. You can catch
And last but not least, well, I have to give it to OlliOlli World, which is, without a doubt, one of my favorite games of this year so far. It's fun, funny, satisfying in terms of gameplay, the graphic style is a must-see, and the music is so on point. You know what, I think it's fair to say that it's a must-buy for fans of the skating genre. I think OlliOlli World might be one of the strangest skateboarding games you'll ever get to play, but it's a damn good one.